Click blind post live.
Awesome sauce. Hello, everybody. This is Awesome Sauce Radio.
Compliment.
Once again, I am without a man in the chair tonight, so if this show looks like crap, please forgive me.
Clickable. Post.
I'm also going to just see if my guest has arrived yet.
Out of it. Graphic at clickable. Share your list with button comment button screen.
But while we're figuring that out, I'd like to thank some of my sponsors for tonight. Of course, I want to give a loving shout out to the official pizzeria of Awesome Sauce Radio. Of course, the official pizzeria of Awesome Sauce Radio is the Marcus Pizza. The Marcus Pizza is nutritious. It is delicious.
Live viewer stream out of clickable. Show check.
It's located at 1926 Union Road, New Jersey, 07421 973-728-1344. TheMarcusPizza.com. They're on all the socials, and you can get your parties catered. They've been in business for 46 years, and they're just amazing. I love the Marcos Pizza. Tell them by that I'm sent you. 1926 Union Road, New Jersey, 07421.
Clickable tab private chat. Clickable tab notes. Clickable tab.
Also, want to give a big shout out to the Big Apple Comic Con.
Clickable tab clickable tab selected comments. Clickable button.
The Big Apple Comic Con is returning to the New Yorker Hotel on 8th Avenue from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. November 22nd. And they have an amazing guest list. You have Paul Blake, Greedo from Star Wars. You have Brian Pulido from Lady Death. Larry Lieber, the younger brother of Stan Lee, co-creator of Thor and Iron Man, will be there. Jim Steranko. You got Julie McKenna from Growing Pains.
Button invite guests. Clickable button collapse. Clickable button turn off camera. Clickable button mute. Main landmark. Clickable button Fred. Clickable blind Adam Wonders.
I was just trying to see if our guest has arrived, and I'm going to message him in a minute. But November 22nd, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., New Yorker Hotel. I will be there all day with my homies from Calamity Collectibles. Calamity_collectibles, spelled with an A. Smack him for that praise, but check him out. He's on eBay, Calamity_collectibles. We'll be there all day. Well, our friend Ruben will be at the table with us. And maybe have a cosplayer, I don't know yet. But the Big Apple Comic Con, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., New Yorker Hotel. And www.bigapplecc.com. Let's send our guests a message, tell them that we're up and live and running.
Speech on. Music.
Open Messenger.
New message. Almika. Last active 43 minutes ago. Mark Pollock. Almik. John Dexter. Loading. Type them. I. November 4th at 12:00.
Live now. Ready when you are ready. Period. Thank you.
Inserted lip already when you are ready. John Deck open John's cat man. I. You. One person. John Deck open. You. One.
Give me 1 second, guys.
John open John cat Y. Space. Return. Type a mess. Present. Opens and send a message.
Yeah. There you take that, Murphy's Law.
Message. Close message.
Remember, you have to expect the unexpected, killing joke style and stuff, yo.
Clickable. Post a comp out of it. Graphic clickable. Share your list but screen. Live stream out of clickable but.
Also want to give a quick shout out to Big Clutch Comics. Big Clutch Comics is awesome and amazing. www.bigclutchcomics.com. They have amazing variants, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Pete Carroll.
Show comments. Checkbox. Clickable tab.
BigClutchComics.com. Tell them Blind Adam sent you.
Clickable tab media asset. Clickable tab bat. Clickable button leave studio. Clickable button mic and camera. Button invite guest. Clickable button collapse. Clickable button turn off cam. Clickable button mute microphone. Main landmark. Clickable button present for it. Clickable John Dexter. Clickable menu button sub menu more off. Clickable button mute John. Clickable button add John Dexter to stage.
Okay, now our guest is here. We have an amazing guest tonight. He has a Kickstarter that's live now. He is the creator of Real Alpha Dogs and Dinosaur Detectives. We're going to bring him in right now, John Dexter.
John.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good, good. Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. Just I started seeing you posting a lot more stuff on Facebook, and I was like, let me bring him back on.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's good. Same here. So just to refresh my audience, can you please tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name's John Dexter. I'm the creator of the comic book series Alpha Dogs, Dinosaur Detective, and Space Cruisin'. They've been signed by publisher Source Point Press. Alpha Dogs Volume 1 is currently on pre-order on Lunar, and I have a Kickstarter from Dinosaur Detective currently on Facebook. I'm on Kickstarter.
That'd be awesome on Facebook. Don't give Facebook ideas to start doing their own
I know.
That's all we need.
Uh-huh.
So how did you get into comics?
Oh, I was a lot of people in my generation, a teen of the '90s, and was exposed to X-Men on Fox Kids, and just became obsessed after that. I was using my paper route money to buy back issues of X-Men, anything that featured Wolverine and Sabretooth. I was picking it up. So I absolutely loved the humanity to the X-Men. You know, it was the first cartoon that it really had adult themes to it, and it fascinated me that the days of Spider-Man and Hulk, you know, the silly cartoons, so it was totally different.
Oh yeah, I actually thought that era of cartoons was the perfect gateway drug for comic books because Fox Kids had Batman the Animated Series, Spider-Man, The Tick, X-Men, and it was just an amazing time period around that time period, and it made you want to go out and get everything that these characters were in, especially when you had the action figures, because of the cartoons, and every Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was big. It was a phenomenon. It really was. Not since I didn't remember anything like that since Star Wars. But then, of course, all that went away the next day when Power Rangers debuted. That basically killed the superhero line. Was the Power Rangers?
You know, I have nothing bad to say about the Power Rangers because they put me through my senior year of high school and paid for things for me for about 2 years straight.
Nice.
That's how popular those things were.
Yeah. Jeez.
I remember being able to go into Toys R Us and buy like Power Rangers for like $5 or $6 and then flip them at a convention the next week during the weekend for like $20-$30.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they were hot, especially the ones where the heads flipped. I remember those. Those were really cool.
Those are crazy. So, explain to me how you started going from being a fan to being a creator.
I had always been a writer. Ever since I was a kid, I pretended my room was a television network where I would create these stories. So it was just in me for some reason. I don't know why. And then when I was 15 years old, I wrote my first screenplay and really was heading in that direction for many years. I was able to become a 2-time semifinalist in the Academy Awards screenwriting contest. So
awesome.
yeah, it's called The Weeping Trees. One day it's going to be a graphic novel. So after years of frustration, and then I had got the idea for Alpha Dogs, and I just thought, well, it doesn't really lend itself to a screenplay. It's definitely a comic book. So Alpha Dogs features this dog that has the power to heal from any wound. Him and his owner are on the run from mercenaries that are trying to kidnap him to manipulate his powers. And it's got a lot of really cool themes in it about abandonment, about, kind of an allegory of stepkids when their mom or dad marries somebody and they kind of push the kids aside. And it's kind of similar to Dogs. So while it's got a really fun adventure, it's kind of like X-Men meets Homeward Bound with these dogs with superpowers. It's got a big heart.
You gave the dog the powers of Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly. He can heal from any wound. Well, I did that because I thought because the dog's going to go all these adventures and he's going to run into mercenaries. He's going to have to be shot at one point, or stabbed. So I thought, well, what if he's a dog? So I need to have him heal. So that's why I gave him that power. And then I found out quickly after issue 1 with Buck being discovered shot on a beach, a lot of people just hated the comic after that. But he healed. He instantly healed.
Because of what you put that poor dog through, how much hate mail did you get from animal
Oh
lovers?
gosh. Yeah, I got definitely people that were like, "Oh my God, how could you do that?" Even my wife was like, "I would not buy any comic after that." I was like, "Oh no!"
I
So
read issue 1, and excuse my language, but I was like, "What the fuck? What did I just read?" Did he have the dog? Did he really shoot? Did he just old yellow style that dog? Because
yeah,
growing up in our generation, if you really wanted to torture a little kid, you made them
I
watch
know.
Old Yellow, and if they can make it through without crying at the end, you know that you had a tough kid.
Yeah, yeah. But I was really hoping that because of the book you got stray dogs in there, that it wouldn't be that big of a deal because these dogs are getting literally their fur ripped off, their hides pulled, and but it doesn't matter, man. It just doesn't matter.
People just love
You
their
can
dog.
kill anything but a dog. But even with the
Actually,
dog
I'm
healed.
surprised that Mark Miller got away with it when Kick-Ass 2.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm sure he got a lot of hate mail too. There's
Oh yeah,
just
actually, that's why they changed it. There, that one scene in the movie with when Jim Carrey's character gets killed. That's why Red Mist, played by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, was just like, no, you can't. You kill him, but you can't kill the dog.
yeah, he should have listened. So, but yeah, that is a great series. That's, like I said, that's on. You can get that series, the graphic novel 1 through 5, on the Kickstarter for Dime Store Detective. That's live right now.
So, what is Dime Store Detective?
It's this great original pulp um, crime mystery with a supernatural edge to it. It's a very unique comic. It was actually also signed by Source Point Press. So in this story, you've got Detective Donald McAter. He's this maverick detective on the North Georgia Police Force. He's kind of a guy that doesn't, placate to the top brass or city hall. He just goes out and does the job. He comes upon this crime scene of this woman that's been left in this Christ-like display hung in the woods in the Appalachian forest. And she just so happens to be hanging over the burial grounds. The detective's father and uncle buried multiple bodies back in 1981 when they were involved with this moonshiner war. This big gang comes in to try to push this family out of business. 5 generations of moonshiners, respected and feared in the community. And these brothers are not about to just run away, so they have this rivalry war. Well, in the
What's a moonshiner?
moonshiners are people that make whiskey, alcohol illegally. It
Okay,
was,
so it's like
and there's
they're
even
like crystal meth makers of alcohol. Okay.
yeah, something like that, but not that bad. They were just, because it
I
was
just need to
prohibition.
equivalent it to something's effects.
Yeah, yeah. So the 2 brothers go into the Appalachian Mountains and accidentally release this evil entity that's been trapped in a cave for hundreds of years by the Cherokee. And then this evil entity possesses one of the brothers. And
That's
during,
awesome.
yeah, and so the rivalry between the gang actually becomes this very bloody, murderous war that really just topples the community. It's a famous. It's called the Moonshiner Wars of 1981. That's when this takes place, and then we go into the present, 40 years later, to Detective McAnder trying to find this connection and believing this evil entity has somehow returned, and kind of coming to grips with his past and all the terrible things that people have said about his father and trying to prove his father's innocence. So it's a great story of the love between a father and a son, with evil entity, a sex cult, and
All
a
right,
serial killer. So
I'm sold. Sex cults,
Yes.
Apache, the Moonshiner Wars of '81. Did you do the story and the art, or just the story?
Just the story. I can't even draw stick figures.
Who does the art for this?
Alfredo Ritmier, he's the artist. He's you can see the page. If you go to my Kickstarter, there's a great trailer. I would implore anybody, just check out the trailer. If you're not sold that this is a great story, then I'm kind of out of luck, I guess, because it's a fantastic story with great art. The flashbacks are in the sepia tones. And then, of course, there's color. So an easy way to go back and forth as we go from the past to the present.
Yeah, to everyone who watches this on the rewind, I do not, like I said, at the beginning of the show, I do not have a man in the chair tonight to help me present stuff. But there is a link to the Kickstarter in the show description and the show notes.
I hope so. I thought I did. I can't get on mine right now currently.
No,
My
actually,
phone.
I purposely made show notes with technology today, and I purposely put the Kickstarter in there.
Okay, I appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, I just about offer a money back guarantee if I could afford it. That you will absolutely love this story. Like I said, it got picked up by a publisher, something that's very difficult to do for little indie guys.
Awesome. So it's already picked up by SourcePrint.
Correct. Yep.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So out of all with that, did you pick SourcePoint out, or did they come to you?
It was kind of mutual. I had given them some of my comics to look at with the hope that they would like it enough to sign me. So I waited like almost a year. I saw Dirk Manning at the Comic-Con. Dirk Manning's who I gave the comics to originally, almost a year prior. Then when I saw him again, I gave him issue 3 and asked if he liked him, and he said, yeah, he really enjoyed him, and asked me if I was interested in being submitted to them to be considered to have them as my publisher. Sorry, I got to step down. I was trying to say it exactly correctly.
Congratulations. That's an amazing feat for the couple of titles you have under your umbrella, especially with them being in 2 totally different realms. One being this story about a man and his dog with real alpha dogs. This and Space Cruisers, is it?
Yeah, and then I got a sci-fi comedy called Space Cruising. I only have issue 1 done of that one, so you'll get volume 1, which is 1 through 5 of Alpha Dogs, and you can get 1 through 5 of Damn Sure Detective. But I only have issue 1 done of Space Cruising. I'm waiting to get through more of these 2 stories before I get into my third ones. But I wanted to do issue 1 as an introduction to this world. It's a great, fun read. Not very many people are brave enough to write a comedy in their comic books, so mine is a comedy adventure. It's not great comedy.
It does really feel like a lost art, where there's not enough. Like, I grew up in an era of Milk and Cheese and Ren and Stimpy and stuff of that nature. And it just feels like that slapstick. Let's not take a comic book universe or a series so damn seriously. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, and a lot of it is comedy is just, it's easily the most difficult genre to write. What I think is funny, you might not think is funny. So it's such a subjective art. And not only that, with a comic book, you don't have the actor, like Kramer from Seinfeld. He had funny lines, but his method of comedy is what helps. So writing comedy, I believe, is very difficult, but I think I pulled it off. The people that have read it have really enjoyed it, and that one is you've got these 3 kind of outcasts: this Bushido warrior, an enhanced human, this alien who absolutely loves American and Earth culture. He wears a cowboy hat. He's this little troll-looking thing. He wears a cowboy hat, World War II, a bomber jacket, and he wears shirts that say, I shot JR, or where's the beef, for American slogans. And it's really funny. And then you've got this obsolete android that the two characters, the alien and android, kind of have this comedy duo of going at it each other. And Yuri, the Bushido warrior human, is kind of acts as the straight man trying to separate it. But these guys, they go on these adventures trying to find lost human artifacts, kind of bounty hunting for those things, and they just get caught up in this intergalactic war.
That's just amazing.
It is amazing. I'm not just saying that. I wrote
No,
that. I wrote that many years ago.
You see, now you're gonna make me search later on just so I can watch it, because I haven't seen the commercial in years. Those old Wendy's where's the beef commercial?
Yeah. And in my Kickstarter, you can go back and watch the trailer for that. See the covers, if you choose.
Yeah, we'll do that. That sounds like a blast too. Who did the art for that one?
Yeah, all Stone Tower Studios, they do all my artwork. You've got Fernando Malik, Koskun did the artwork for Space Cruising, but he won't be the artist when I'm going to do a lot different as far as the artwork perspective. I'm going to hire my artist for Dempster Detective because I just love his artwork so much. So he'll be doing the next one, but Koskun did it many years ago. That was actually my first comic book, but this is a good story of, not giving up on your dream. Back, oh my goodness, it's probably been 15 years. I did my first comic book. It was a superhero one, and it failed so miserably that I took my box that had them all and I put them in the dumpster. And I said, I'm never making another comic book again. And then a year later, huh?
What made you change what made you say putting that box in that dumpster? I was like, no, I'm going to try it again.
Because it's a drug. It really, I can't help it. I just love writing comics. I love them. I did the screenwriting thing, and it's just screenwriting is nowhere near as enjoyable as writing comic books. It's just so much more enjoyable. So then I did Space Cruising, but I ran out of money, so I never finished it, and it sat for 10 years, or not 10 years, but 8 years. It just sat there with the last 2 pages that needed to be done, and then I did Alpha Dogs because I had heard of this Kickstarter thing, and I thought, well, I'll try to raise the money that way to finish it because I had like the first 5 pages done. Alpha Dogs got funded, and because of the success of Alpha Dogs, I was able to go back and fund Space Cruising.
That's awesome sauce. I actually think Alpha Dogs hit at the right time because of shout out to Tony Sleeks and Tris Farsner over at Stray Dogs.
Yes.
Who are good friends.
Yeah,
and you also had What's His Face doing Good Boy at the time as well.
Yeah, Good Boy was out there. I mean, I was lucky enough, thank God, that I hit, because I was able to hire Trish Forstner back before she was really, really famous. She, for issue 2 and 3, she drew sketch covers for me. Wow. Yeah, for my Kickstarter. It was awesome. I like my most prized possession is the 2 sketch covers she did for me for Alpha Dogs. So that helped. And but she basically, I think, stopped because she said she was so disturbed by the dog getting shot.
Yeah, and then, I was gonna say, she one of the people who saw the dog getting shot and was like,
yeah, and another dog dies in it, but you don't see it get killed. It's intended. You know that it happened. So
no, trust me. Yeah, you should have tried a little harder on that, because even though you tried to keep it implied, it's like, yeah, that dog is dead.
Yeah, so she was like so disturbed. That was one of the things.
Like, why did I fund this comic? Why did I buy this shit?
But
at the end of the day, it's such a heartfelt story, though, at the same time.
Yeah, no, it definitely gets a lot better for the dog. So they go through all this terrible, and that's how you write a story. Your heroes have to go through hell to be, they have to be torn down to be rebuilt, and that's what happens in Alpha Dogs. The main character goes through this horrible traumatic experience because he has to learn to sometimes let go, and that's with families. That's one of the metaphors is, people, they love their parents so much, but eventually if your parents are real shits, eventually you just have to let go. And that's what Buck has to learn, and then embrace these other dogs that need to be saved in the story. So it gets better, and then they all have to team up to stop this terrible event, an assassin of a human, not an assassination of a dog, an assassination of a human. So it's a real fun journey for people. And yes, the dog gets shot, but he can heal. So
That's awesome sauce. What advice could you give to someone who, is struggling to get their stuff off the ground? They have an idea, but they kind of self-sabotage, and they put their box in the dumpster and just, I'm done.
yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's near that point for like not giving up on their dreams no matter what they're creative?
Well, I just heard this a little while ago, and it sounds like something perfect. So what you're supposed to do is look in a mirror and just stare at yourself for like 5 minutes and not say anything. And then lift your hand to the mirror and high five yourself and say, you can do it. And because it's a mental thing to say, hey, I can do this. And it's your body, you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. So make the most of your life, and you got to believe in yourself. And like, man, I went through so many disappointments to get to where I am. Not that I'm anything special, but like I said, I was able to get a publisher, and I got 14 issues out. So it's just really believing in
That's not
yourself.
the reason, buddy, man. In today's comic book market, which to me is the 1990s comic book market on crack at times.
Yeah.
That's not a small feat.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very, very special, especially with the way things have changed and all of that.
Yeah, and I've just been climbing. Last year I got a publisher. This year I'm going to be in Lunar, and like you can pre-order Alpha Dogs through Lunar right now. So that's a real big accomplishment for me.
So real Alpha Dogs and a lot of the stuff will eventually wind up in comic book shops and will be on shelves if people actually have enough sense to order better indie books.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get it right now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but that's another edition. Long story, but there might still be some on there. But I would say to get the one that's on pre-order through Lunar, because it's the new edition with issues 1 through 5, and it's got a beautiful laminated cover and everything. So, but I prefer if you buy it from my Kickstarter, because then I get actually the money. You don't get much through bookstores. So,
like I said, as a retailer, I do like that there's these type of options.
Yeah.
Whether it be through Kickstarter, where I know that that's helping the creator.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have a part of my customer base who doesn't want to do Kickstarter or can't do it, or especially some of my fellow handicapped customers who can't because of accessibility issues, has an issue with Kickstarter, can go to their comic book shop. Can I get
yes.
Yeah, boom, there you go.
Yeah, it's really mostly just to get my name out there where people would never notice me, or going to a bookstore, so, or scrolling through Amazon. So that's mostly what I do it for. But yeah, your money all goes to you in a Kickstarter, which is great. Except, well, Kickstarter gets a little bit, but not. They're very fair.
I had some fees when I was looking at it. So will you be doing any conventions to promote as well, or?
Yeah, actually, this weekend, starting tomorrow, I'll be at the Grand Rapids Comic Con in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's my last Comic Con of the year. Bittersweet, because you kind of get burnt out at the end of the year with the Comic Cons, but it's still a lot of fun to meet people and hopefully gain new readers and sign comics. It's such a thrill. I can't tell you, to have somebody want your autograph. It's such a thrill that somebody thinks enough of your work to get your autograph. So hopefully, if anybody's out there, to stop by my table.
One of these years, I'll make it out to the Grand Rapids Comic Con or Motor City, one of the Detroit / Michigan shows.
Mhm.
What it is I went to Michigan one year for because I went to a Seeing Eye Dog school out there up in
Yeah.
Rochester in the
Okay.
heart of winter, and it ruined me on Michigan. It ruined me on winters forevermore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's the one issue with me living in Michigan is the winters. I hate them. Absolutely hate them. I hate driving in them. I hate being cold. I work outside, so yeah, I hate that. But other than that, Michigan is awesome because we're surrounded by lakes and beautiful, beautiful weather. Other than winter.
Yeah, like I said, I went to the Leader Dog up in Rochester, and the it's the first classes before they start making you work with the dog to see if you're eligible with the eye dogs. You have to walk around with a cane for a week.
Okay.
They were just like for the first 2 days they did everything inside, and they go, Adam, you're doing so well. We can't have you do anything inside. You're gonna have. And they gave me hats with a heater in it. These gloves with built-in heaters. And by the middle of the lesson, which was my first hour, and I was like, "Can we go back in for 10 minutes to warm up?" I mean, everything died.
Yeah.
Came home with
Yeah.
frostbite, tendonitis in my shoulder.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But
It's
I would have created the experience of anything in the world. I just never want to have to experience a Michigan winter again.
yeah. I get it's something you never become acclimated to. I never have been acclimated to the winters, so it is. But people will see me walk around with a t-shirt and like, oh my god, how are you not wearing a coat? So I guess it depends where you are in the northern equator.
That's true. Like I said, I've been spoiled by being bi-coastal the last couple of years. I
Yeah.
spent some time in New York, in the New Jersey, New York City area, and then I spent some of my time out in the middle of the desert, Nevada.
No. Okay.
And it's usually during January-ish, February-ish. I'm spending that time out in Nevada, so it's kind of
Okay.
I got really spoiled in that
I bet.
thing. So you know, where do you see the is Kickstarter hang on Amazon stop? Do you see Kickstarter being the future of the comic book industry at this point?
It seems like it's just so enticing because you get to keep your money. And I've learned the hard way that as a creator, you get very little money. So compared to sales. Now, granted, it's a little different animal because I'm just a little guy printing up 300 to 500 comics. They're printing up thousands, so there's definitely a big difference. But still, you're able to keep so much more of your money that now you're getting a lot of the big indies going to Kickstarter.
As I've noticed. What rewards do you have for Dinosaur Detectives? Yep.
So I've got for $14 you can get the digital that's issues 1 through 5 of 120 pages. For 30 you can get the actual physical graphic novel. For only $5 more, I sign it. There's another tier that has all of my work, the Dinosaur Detective 1 through 5 and Alpha Dogs 1 through 5, the volume of it, and then issue 1 of Space Cruising for like $70. You're talking 260 pages worth of comics, and then I've got one with a bunch. No, then I've got one with a bunch of the variant covers that I have left. All the covers available for Dinosaur Detective.
That's amazing. So, Adam, if you had to pick one of the 3 series that you have to try out first, like if you had to go read this, then read this, then read that, how would you rank all 3 of the series you have out right now?
It's really all 3 stories are so very different. I mean, extremely different. Maybe I should have stuck to one genre, but they're so different that it really wouldn't matter. I think they're all on an equal basis. So if you're more into supernatural, detective mysteries, Dexter Detective would be the one to start with. If you love superhero stories, if you're a dog lover, and then Alpha Dogs, and basically if you're a sci-fi fan, you'll enjoy Space Cruising. It's kind of like Spaceballs meets Star Wars.
Yeah, I think that'll be the second one I try. I don't. I love you to death. I'm very happy for all your success, but I don't think I can reread Alpha Dogs.
Yeah, I understand.
Uh, just like I tell Trish and Tony, it's like there's certain things in Stray Dogs I can't go back and read either.
Yeah.
2020 was the year to torture animals in comic books for some weird reason.
Well, mine's tame compared to Stray Dogs. That was
That's
horrible.
true,
But yeah, I get it. John Wick should have taught me don't ever shoot the dog.
Exactly, man. Are you binging anything on any of the streaming platforms? Reading any comics that you're into?
You know what? I have a day job that I work 10 hours. I'm trying to promote the Kickstarter, plus trying to get comic shops to buy Alpha Dog's graphic novel, calling, emailing. So I don't have the time. And then if all this promotion, I don't really have time to do much of anything besides go to bed.
No, I hear about it. So I noticed one of the stores that you have your books in is my good friends. Shout out to Mike and Julia over at the Secret Stash. How did you get your book in the Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash?
Yeah. Oh, did you see it over there? You heard about it?
Yeah. I was there about 2 weeks ago for a couple minutes. And
Nice. Yeah, it was really cool because very few small indie creators like myself are able to get in there. They have a very limited space. So you have to, what I did is I contacted them. Michael Zappa, he actually had to check them out. He actually had to read them. So I sent him one of each. He read them. He really enjoyed them. He had to read Space Cruising, Dime Store, and Alpha Dogs, and he said that he would make space for all of my comics. So that was big for me because, like I said, I don't live in Jersey. I'm not a big name, so the fact that somebody of his caliber enjoyed my comics enough to put them on the shelf of all my comics was a huge gift for me. It was kind of a little bit of a dream.
like I said, I had the pleasure of putting a friend of mine who created an indie book in touch with him and Julia, and he liked the book. He said, "Yeah, I'll stock this." I have another buddy who's doing a book who's actually based to the characters on Jay and Silent Bob a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Changed enough of it for legal reasons, of course.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, he did. I'm actually kind of still under NDA, so I'm kind of scooting around it. But since I've seen everything, I was like, hey, when you're done with this, let me know. Send me copies. I will personally walk into the shop and show it to Mike and Julia and try to get it into Kevin's hands as well.
Nice. That would be awesome. I was hoping
they're huge comic book nerds, and
yeah,
the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with.
Nice. That's cool. I haven't met him personally. Just talked to him on the phone. My hope is that they told me to check back with him about maybe going to Free Comic Book Day. So that would be a huge check mark in my book if I was able to sign comics there on Free Comic Book Day. But I don't know. We'll see. It's in the water.
I know. Hopefully my Free Comic Book Day 2026 will be better than my Free Comic Book Day 2025.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So we'll see.
Yeah. Where can my audience find you online?
Yeah, so you can find me on at Real Alpha Dogs on X. You can find me at Alpha _ Dogs _ comic on Instagram, and then I'm on Facebook. I also have a group called John Dexter Comics. So yeah, check it out. I'm also on Blue Sky as well.
What the heck is Blue Sky?
I don't know. I don't hardly have any followers. It's kind of like an anti Twitter site. It's like the anti-Twitter
So
I guess.
it's just another social media platform where
Yeah.
where it's like the Wild Wild West, I'm assuming.
Yes, exactly. So I don't get on there too much. I just basically go on there to promote my stuff.
I guess I'd say, do I really need another social media platform at this point in my life?
Yeah, probably no.
I waste enough time with social media because I'm just gonna go on. I don't know how you are, but I'll go on. Well, I just want to promote what I'm doing right now. I just want to post one picture to promote something. Next time, half an hour goes by as I start checking messages because that I haven't done in like 3 weeks. I start seeing my friends in the feed. So I got crap. Wait, I got work to do. I don't know what you think, but social media is like the greatest time killer in the world.
It is. It's terrible. I talk about my kid playing video games, and I spend much wasted time on my darn phone.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being a guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It was nice to see you again, and we'll definitely have to do it again soon.
Definitely do. I'm gonna reach out to you about to see if you have any extra copies of those Trish variants because I didn't even know those existed to now.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even. You'd have to buy it off somebody because.
Yeah, that's what I thought, man. Because I was like, because that was around the time when I was collecting her work.
Yeah.
Like hardcore, and
Well,
I don't remember those.
Yeah, yeah.
And the cool thing about the New York City, New Jersey area for comic book conventions, it's oversaturated. You can literally do 2 conventions a weekend if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you go to one of her comic comic appearances, you could probably have her draw a buck for you, or one of the dogs.
That's true. No, eventually, what I wanted to have her really do for a commission, and unfortunately, she's just so busy. She no longer has the time she used to.
Yeah.
I would love to have her do a commission of my dog who passed a few years back.
Oh, that would be awesome. We had somebody do that for us.
Like I said, it was my therapy dog, and it was just passed away from kidney failure back in 2023.
Oh yeah, it's sad, man. They're like your kid, your special needs kid.
Even though sometimes they're worse than kids, especially towards the end. Never forget one time he just made the bed, took a shower, and she was sick. She couldn't help it. She pulled an Amber Heard.
Oh.
And it was like good. You got the reference. Yeah, the poor puppy pulled an Amber Heard.
Yeah.
She couldn't get off. She at that point was having problems getting off like furniture.
Yeah.
Put her. I was like, moved her, put everything in the washer machine. As I cursed at the poor thing for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I did that is because I actually sat in it after taking a shower.
Oh no, that's horrible. Oh, that's horrible.
It wasn't that, man. The dogs are a very, very special thing. So
yes, they are. He's
cool.
The main character. Buck is actually based on my dog. So what happened? The whole genesis of Alpha Dogs is we had lived in a town that was going to outlaw pit bulls, and we had a pit bull mix. So we moved because we're going to get rid of our dog, then inspired me to create this series about this dog that's feared by the public because of his breed and size, but he has a big heart. It's about, judging people like dogs based on reputation. So hopefully that redeems it a little bit in your eyes now.
Hey, you know what? What? Because you're not the first person I've heard this about pit bulls over the years. What are some of the
Yeah.
misconceptions about that particular breed of dog?
They're what?
What are some of the misconceptions about pit
Oh,
bulls?
they're very violent. Yeah, they're very violent dogs. That will bite you as opposed to look at you. And I'm sure there are some dogs out there, but I've never had an experience with that. And all the pit bulls I know are just the sweetest thing. So it's just dogs get bad reputations like people, and it just carries on. So that's
I
one of the
really just
themes of the whole story.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree, but sometimes I just think that dogs are a reflection of their owners, and
Yes,
they pick it
exactly.
up. You know, if you're a vicious human being and you have a pit bull, it's gonna pick up on that because okay, bite first, ask questions later. If you're a sweet person, you have a pit bull, and you show them love and affection. I've seen it with all breeds of dogs, man. That
Yeah,
they
exactly.
really are reflections of their owners. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, I do absolutely. But anyway, I don't want to keep you anymore. But so yeah, thanks for having me on and for letting me spotlight my comics.
Hey man, that's cool. Everyone, Kickstarter slash Dinosaur Detectives. If you're watching on this rewind, there is a link to the Kickstarter in the show notes, in the description of the episode, and you have yourself a great night.
You too. Thanks.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Well, everyone, that is tonight's episode of Awesome Sauce Radio. I'd like to thank the official pizzeria of Awesome Sauce Radio. The official pizzeria is the Marco's Pizza. The Marco's Pizza is the greatest pizzeria in all of northern New Jersey. They have the mozzarella sticks and the garlic knots and the jalapeno poppers, a wide selection of Coke products to wash that down, a cappuccino. Do you have cappuccino? Just in case you need to take a hot date to a cappuccino and cannoli. But they're at 1926 Union Valley Road, New Jersey 07421 973-728-1344. Mention Awesome Sauce Radio or Blind Adam and get yourself a free order of garlic knots. TheMarcosPizza.com. They cater every kind of party. Also, November 22nd, which is next Saturday, Big Apple Comic Con, New Yorker Hotel, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. www.bigapplecc.com. Once again, check out John Dexter. His Kickstarter is Kickstarter/Dinosaur Detectives. There's 30 some odd days left on the campaign, so don't miss out. Remember, you don't need set to have a vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. Please go chase your dreams. You just might catch them. You can follow me at Instagram at The Real Blind Adam. Twitter X, or whatever they call themselves, at the Comic Pimp. And I love you all. Blind Adam out.
Banner lamp buttons. Awesome. Button edit live. Clickable button cancel. Clickable button restart. Clickable button pause. Clickable button end stream. End stream button. Outro video. Clickable set outro bit. Not yet button. End stream button.